Turn Ajay's chair this way. She's facing there. Ready? You migrated.
Yeah, because
It was more in the corner.
Okay.
No, it's good.
Okay.
That's good. This was more in the corner.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyaptarehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Yogena Chittasya Padena Vajam Malam Sharirasya Cha Vaidyakena Yopakarotam Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjalidanatosmi Abhavu Purushakaram Shankhachakradharinam Sahasrashirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. We saw yesterday, we covered some ground about Yathartha Jnanam. What is Yathartha Jnanam? Sudden quiz, unexpected, yes. But easier than the one Aishwarya had about remembering everybody. Yeah. What is Yathartha Jnanam?
Objective knowledge.
Yes, objective knowledge, knowledge of things as it is. That is the correct translation. Knowledge of things exactly as it is. Yathartha Jnanam. And what is one example of Yathartha Jnanam? We all are looking at this. And what is this? No, it's not an orange. You agree and I agree that what is this? It's a pair of glasses. See, that's why I had to go and fetch it, all right? That's why I went and came back. Because I said I don't have any props. What will I do without my prop? It would not be proper. Okay. So Yathartha Jnanam means knowledge as it is. You see it, I see it, and this is what it is. Then what is the opposite of that? Ayathartha Jnanam or Anyatha Jnanam. Either it's wrong knowledge or I see it differently from what it is. All right. So, in other words, Yathartha Jnanam, objective perception, ayathartha jnanam or anyatha jnanam, subjective perception. Now, in the anyatha jnanam, this is just a summary of what we learned yesterday. And in the anyatha or ayatha jnanam, we have two kinds of, it can be divided into two categories. What is the first category? Collective subjective perception. Correct? Collective subjective perception. And what is the collective subjective perception? The sunset is so beautiful. Correct? Yeah. It is a mistake, but it's not a mistake. Why? Because nobody is really thinking that the sun is setting and getting panicked. What will happen tomorrow? How will the day start? Because the sun has gone. Nobody is thinking that. Okay? Nobody is thinking that. Everybody knows the sun is, and our favorite Vedantic expression, as though setting, as though rising. Correct? So that is a collective misperception, but we can't really call it a misperception. Why? Because it is backed by knowledge. And what knowledge? Knowledge gained in 4th grade of school, geography lesson. Sun is not going anywhere. It is the movement of the earth that is giving this perception. So we have a collective perception that is not right, but we all enjoy. We can enjoy the sunset, and then we can enjoy the blue sky. There is no such thing called sky. There is, and neither is it blue. The blue is the atmospheric illusion. Correct? And we can enjoy the bent pencil, knowing in the water, knowing full well that it is not bent. So even if I see the pencil as bent, I don't get bent out of shape. Yeah, because I know it is truly not bent. It is as though bent. This is the collective perception, which could be, which in which we are all participating in the appearance, in the perception, but since it is backed by knowledge, we are not buying into it. Even though we are enjoying it, we are not buying into it. In fact, the secret is when we don't buy into something, we can enjoy it more. This is the hint to what is to come in the next few days. So this is the collective perception, and then we have then even in this collective perception category, there can also be a collective misperception not backed by knowledge. Like what?
Snake and rope.
No, that is individual. Everybody is not seeing the snake, but good try. We will come back to the individual one. The collective misperception, which is not backed by knowledge, is what? It's okay to be sad. No, correct? Yeah. Naturally, you will be sad. It's okay. You had a loss. You will be sad. Yes, it is okay to be sad. But the thing is, what is that? What am I trying to say? It's the ratification of the mistake. It's the validation of the mistake. Collective mistake. Here, it's not backed by knowledge. We are not saying, okay, let me try to phrase it a different way so that it is the difference between the mistake and that which is backed by knowledge is understood. So we are not, if we were to say that given this background of neglect, a child growing up in a neglectful background will have these issues in adulthood. This is what it's yathartha jnana, correct? Because we are looking at the psychological order. We'll come to that. We are looking at purely the science or the art of psychology, and we are seeing that given this background, this is a universal law. We are looking at the law. And it's the same thing like saying when something is dropped from a height, it will pass with this much velocity and hit the ground. It's the same thing as saying, given this neglectful background, The child with a neglected background might grow up to be sad, might grow up to be angry. This is what and that anger, yes, it is okay. It is okay because it is here, and we understand it because it is backed by the knowledge of the branch of psychology, which is a universal law. Because if it is a Chinese child, it's not that it will not be angry, it will still be angry. If it is an American child, it will still have the same issues. If it's an Indian child growing up, it will have the same exact issues. This is what we understand. This is what we this is not a misperception. But supposing if we were to say that it sadness is the reality of life. Some people believe that. And if all those people came together and sat down and said, sadness is the reality of life. Support group they started. Okay? Yeah. Because misery loves company. So they will start a support group. And then what? They'll sing some sad songs. Darshan kab doge? What is going to happen to us? We are all sad and we are all just miserable together. And they have taken it for granted. Is this backed by knowledge? No. It is just a conclusion. I am feeling sadness is a perception, and the conclusion based on that perception, therefore I am sad. That is the mistake. And collectively, then what? Then they can say we had a sad sang. We sat and we sang sad songs. That's what they can say. It is exactly what will happen. No, this thing, no reprieve from this sadness. In fact, people think that sadness is the reality of life. This even becomes a theology. That I am alienated from the Lord, from the goddess. That I am completely alone and without any resources. That I need to be saved becomes the subject matter of entire religions. So there will be some people that will appoint themselves as saviors. Oh, who needs to be saved? I'm sad, I need to be saved. Everybody raises their hands. Yes, don't fear. I am here. I will rescue you. And this savior psychology becomes very, very attractive, either in a charismatic leader or in a theology that just purports to do this. And so, therefore, when Pujya Swamiji in the year 2000, one of the photos would be here, during the, Millennium Summit of in New York. It was there, the UN Millennium Summit, right? They pointed out. Right there. During the UN Millennium Summit, you can know that is the Hindu-Jewish dialogue. That's not it. I'll find it.
The first left, top left.
Yeah, that one. That one?
No.
This
one.
Sure. No, that's the Hindu-Jewish dialogue. I know
It
this.
says UN Millennium.
Only that one. Yeah, only that one. Yeah. So the UN Millennium Summit during the year 2000, they had a big religious thing in New York. And then after Pujya Swamiji's address, somebody just came running, one reporter, and stuck a microphone in front of his face and said, please give your message for the new millennium. He said, I don't have a message. I have a prayer. What's your prayer? Oh Lord, please save me from all saviors. Objective. That I need a savior. Subject. That I need to be saved. Why? Because I am enslaved. Maybe by my own emotions, maybe by my sense of alienation, maybe by my perception, maybe by my desires, maybe by my fears, maybe by my sorrow. Entire religions are based on this savior psychology. Subjective, not objective. I have nothing against the religion. I'm just telling you the thinking behind it. The logic and I don't know if you can call it logic, but nonetheless, the thinking behind it. Prayer is fine. Prayer is fine. Every kind of prayer is addressed. And to feel like I'm alienated is also within the law. We have to see this. To pray saying, please, Trahimam, Pahimam, we pray every morning at 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Atatrana Parayanasya Bhagavan Gangadharo Me Gatihi. That is the refrain. Pahi Pahi Mam, Raksha Raksha Mam. Save me, help me. Nothing wrong in praying like this. But you can't take that to be the ultimate reality. This is but a feeling in the present. And every feeling need not be enshrined to the level of truth, because the feelings are what? Fleeting. In fact, the feeling, in the word feeling, there is a spelling mistake. It should be fleeing. It's not feeling. That which is fleeing should be called a feeling, and that which is fleeing, you don't make it into some kind of a, you don't enshrine it into the reality. This is exactly the collective misperception. You take the Buddhist dharma also. The first premise is what? The world. What is the first premise of Buddhism? The world is the cause of sorrow. Completely different from what the Upanishad says. World is Ananda. Ananda. Why? Because it is a manifestation of Bhagavan. It is Ananda. We don't know if this is what the Buddha taught. Apparently, the Buddha was asked about God and he remained silent. Why he remained silent? Because perhaps that which is called God is not an object. It is the truth of myself. It cannot be objectified. Perhaps he knew that, and he probably knew that, and that's why he was silent. But the trouble with religions that have a founder is that after the founder is gone, the people flounder. That is what happens. And there will be 1,000 interpretations of what the Buddha meant. Dakshinamurti also was silent. But we are not seeing that the difference is we are not seeing Lord Dakshinamurti as the founder of the tradition. Dakshinamurti is one more expression of Bhagavan in the tradition. So that's why we are not misled. We are neither opposed to sound nor opposed to silence. That which is the observer of sound and silence is I. That is the objective reality. That is the truth. This is what we have to understand. And so there is a collective misperception. I am helpless. Not only I am helpless, you are helpless, he is helpless, she is helpless, everybody is helpless. And then subject to misery. We are all miserable. Let's be miserable together. We are all upset. And we are all having difficult lives. And it's all natural. And this is how life is. If this is how life is, then why don't you accept it? This is my question. This is how life is. This is very good philosophy. Okay, then accept it. Accept that you are forever sad. Who wants to accept that? Nobody. Nobody wants to accept that I'm condemned to a life of sadness. Absolutely not. This is against every single this thing. Yeah, so a gentle reminder to turn it off. Nothing will be missed in 1 hour. Okay. So then, this is exactly what we are talking about. The reality is completely other than what is experienced. I'm experiencing the blue sky. There is no such thing called blue sky. I'm experiencing sadness. And the Upanishad will say ultimately there is no such thing called sadness other than one's own projection. We need to build up to that to understand the yoga of objectivity. Just like in yoga, you can't do chakrasana on day 1. Okay, you have to build up to that. You have to build up arm strength, arm balance, all these things. to build up the quadriceps, and then you can do the advanced poses. You have to have balance and strength both, and that doesn't suddenly come. You have to slowly build up. Here also, this is emotional yoga, this is mental yoga, and so here too, a certain build up is essential. So then, so there is a collective misperception backed by knowledge, which is enjoyable. There is a collective misperception backed by ignorance, which is not at all enjoyable, which leads to going round and round in the eddies and the whirlpool of what we call samsara, a life of continuous becoming. I want to become this, then I want to become this, then I want to become this. And then such a person even comes into the spiritual realm. And then they want to become the best, east or west. They want to become the best person. I want to have more moksha than you. How is that possible? Is moksha coming on gradations? Even the jnanis, they have divided into 6 stages of Atmajnana. It is there. We don't do that, but some people do that. There is at the top, there is avadhuta, pahunch gaya, meaning the person is not, cannot be touched in any way, has reached the goal. Actually, the goal being you, there is no reaching. There is only understanding. And so then there is avadhuta, then there is little less, little less, like this 6 gradations are there. There is no need for all this posturing. So then we come to individual misperception. And here we have the rope snake. Individual misperception. Even though it can be collectively shared, at the source of it, it is individual problem. And here the subjectivity reigns rampant because I have misperceptions from the beginning to the end of life. It takes a lot to correct these misperceptions. It's a whole life's journey. That's why we have to listen to this carefully. This is a whole life's journey. How to correct the misperception is an entire journey of life. And what is this life's journey? Life's journey is to not become subject to the conclusions of my misperception. The rope I have mistaken for a snake. That's only half the problem. Then what? I want to run away. Then I say, how come? Then the mind goes crazy. Imagination runs rampant. How come in other people's gardens there is no snake? Why me? Why only me? Why I am subject to this snake? And snake, you fill in the blanks. You replace snake with so many other things. Why? So this is exactly the situation. Why there is this snake? Why I am being subject? Why my karma is like that? This can either be the beginnings of my spiritual growth, or it can be the beginnings of the downward spiral into a certain subjective place of sorrow and madness. Depends on how we use it. Depends on how we look at it. Depends on how we understand it. So if I'm not going to make the mistake of looking at it as something that's going to take me down, oh no, why me? Why me? I have to start to see the perception I cannot avoid, because you see, it is twilight, something is lying there, and it looks like what? It looks like a snake. I can't avoid the perception, it's an honest mistake. But what can I avoid? The conclusion, the erroneous conclusion based on the perception. I can help myself and avoid. And this is what the yoga of objectivity is all about. This is exactly what it's all about. Many marriages are broken because of a subjective perception. Somebody thinks somebody is, doing something when they are not. Somebody thinks Pujya Swamiji saved one marriage. 6 months they had been married, this couple. They came to him and she said, I want to leave this fellow right now. Arranged marriage. And so what happened? How? How did this happen? What went wrong? Well, he doesn't like me anymore. Why? Swamiji said, why? And he said, no, I really care about her. I love her deeply. No, but he doesn't. Why do you say that? Swamiji asked. Because whenever he sees me, he makes a rotten face. Whenever he sees. And he says, no, I don't do that. Oh, you do that. When did it start? Pujya Swamiji said. 1 month ago. What happened 1 month ago? We moved from somewhere to California. We moved. And then the lady said, see, he's making that face right now. And then it was revealed that in California, the poor fellow had terrible allergies and was always feeling like he needed to sneeze. His eyes were running and watering, his nose was watering, and his ears also, if they could have watered, they would have also started to watering. And then what? And he was always on the brink of a sneeze. If you are anticipating a sneeze, what will happen to your face? It will go like this. And then, okay, since it's not a cold, it's allergies, the sneeze subsides. Then again, he goes like this. And what did she think? He does not love me. Therefore, I want a separation. I want to be away from him. I want a divorce. Then, after she understood this, she was all very solicitous. Oh, how can I help? We should see, we should see somebody who can help you. We should go to a doctor. We should get medicine. Let me help you. Let me make this. Let me make that. She remembered this and that. See, many a good marriage can be broken because of misperception or a missed perception. Misperception happens, but I come to the wrong conclusion because of this. Anyatha jnanam, ayatha jnanam. This is something that one has to correct. And how to do that we will be seeing for yoga of objectivity. This is something exactly what needs to be corrected. For that, we have to come back to ourselves. And we have to come back to the question that was asked yesterday, the cliffhanger. What was the cliffhanger? Is it only in sleep that we feel happy and lucky, happy-go-lucky, carefree? What was the answer? Is it only in sleep that you feel free of all your problems? Mostly. That means what? Little bit in non-sleep time also. This happiness that you experience in sleep is available. Again, when you see the sunset, you lose yourself. Ganga Arati, you can lose yourself. You can lose yourself in the Bhandara outside also. Yes. So wonderful. You can lose yourself. You can lose yourself in a nice bhajan. Either when you are singing, somebody else is singing, you just lose yourself. Lose means what? The demanding, complaining, subjective, discontented being is temporarily suspended. If not extinguished, suspended. He'll come back. She will come back. But right now, suspended. Somebody said in between two desires, I can be happy. Fulfillment of one desire, after the fulfillment of one desire, and before the rise of the next desire, there is a moment of happiness, somebody said. May be true. But even without desires getting fulfilled, you are happy. You go for a walk and then you see a cute, tiny calf also walking. How can you feel not happy? Even if you don't want to smile, you smile. You see a small child waving at you and smiling at you. You naturally smile back, and in that smile, not the child's smile, in your responsive smile to seeing that baby, to seeing that small child, what is there? There is just unbridled, limitless happiness. In the moment, you have forgotten that you have grudges against your in laws. You have just forgotten that. And you have forgotten that, in fact, the in laws are behaving like outlaws. That also you have forgotten. You have forgotten that there are so many bugging people in your lives. You have forgotten that. All you are doing is connecting to the child. Its smile brings out your smile, your joy, and its joy become one unbridled, limitless ananda. Now, which version of the self is the reality? Is the sad, grumpy, angry, painful, upset? Is that the truth? Or is the joyful I the truth? Both. Somebody said that. Yeah. Somebody said, this was in the Parliament of World Religions. We are broken and we are whole. Can you accept that?
No.
Huh? I am both. The reality of me is both sad, angry, upset, and joyful. Even to say this, you can't say with a straight face. You can't. There is something in the I, in me, in you, in everybody that rejects the sorrow, anger, fear as the definition of the I. Rejects it completely. Because I don't want to be that. You ask anybody, do you want to be sad? Yeah. Nobody will say. Nobody will say. Go to an angry person and say, do you want to be angry? They'll get even angrier. What do you think I am? Why do you think I want to be angry? They want to say that. You ask a fearful person who's always afraid, puk fellow, you ask. Yeah. Puk means the heart. Like they have a body of a human being, the heart of a bird. Puk, like this. So you ask this puk person, do you want to be afraid all the time? First they'll be afraid of you, then they'll say, no, I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to be angry. What do you want to be? Happy. When do you want to be happy? Yesterday. And how long you want to be happy?
Forever.
Forever. Not for 5 minutes. Nobody will say, oh Lord, in the temple, this is somebody's prayer. Can you even imagine? Please make me happy for the next 5 minutes. Nobody will say that. Not a single person will say that. Please make me happy for 5 minutes. Nobody will say that. Forever. That forever. This one is hardwired for this to desire for this forever, and nothing else suffices. I will not settle for less than, I will not settle for anything other than absolutely everything. I will not settle for anything other than the absolute. Where is this absolute? Where is this wholeness? Where is this happiness? Where is this freedom from anger? And those who have attended a few Vedanta camps will tell, even after so many Vedanta camps, I still get afraid, I still get angry, I still am subject to sorrow. This was the condition of even sage Narada. You know Narada? Who is Narada? Sage. Some people will say troublemaker. Not a troublemaker, a truth sayer. And if the truth causes trouble, okay, troublemaker. Narada is always even hearing the name Narada engenders a spiritual transformation within oneself. It's a very blessed name for those who are ready for this transformation. Narada went to Sanat Kumara. Sanat Kumara is one of the sages seated at the feet of Lord Dakshinamurti. The Dakshinamurti picture is not here, right? Yeah. So you can see in the Dakshinamurti photo, there will be 4 sages. One of them is called Sanat Kumara. In the question hour, don't ask which one, okay? Pick anyone, and that will be Sanat Kumara. Doesn't matter. So Sanat Kumara is the teacher. Narada goes to Sanat Kumara. Narada is very famous. Trilokagami, going not just from one country to another, but one loka to another without visa. Interterrestrial travel. No standing in Brahmaloka embassy. He could go there. No need for visa. And then he is known for his diplomacy. Going to Lord Shiva's loka, what would he say? Om Namah Shivaya. Going to Vaikuntha, what would he say? Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. This is what he would say. So everybody was eager to greet him because he knew everything. And he was blessed with interterrestrial travel, extraterrestrial travel, everything. And to go back, he didn't have to say, E.T., phone home. He could just go back effortlessly. He didn't need to phone anybody. He was limitless in that way. He goes, and then he was very famous. The more famous you are, the harder it is to study Vedanta. Why? Because you're a celebrity. And then if you go like an ordinary person and sit in the class, everybody will say, oh, you don't know this. So generally, if one is a celebrity and has some kind of a connection to being a celebrity, it is very difficult to study Vedanta. It's very difficult to say, I don't know this, please teach me this, because everybody expects you to be what? A know-it-all. Know-it-all. So, therefore what? Narada stands out for his humility. He goes to Sanat Kumara and says, people like you who are so knowledgeable, I have heard that the knower of the Atma, when I know myself objectively as not a snake in the grass, not subject to sorrow, not subject to fear, not subject to anger, not subject to diffidence, not subject to all kinds of samshaya. Samshaya means doubts. Then I am free of sorrow. Atmavit shokam tarati. Tarati crosses. What? Shokam. Shokam is sorrow. Shoka is shoka. Okay, all the shocks in life and all the things. Shokam tarati. Atmavit shokam tarati. Shokam tarati atmavit. The knower of Atmavit, Atma, I, with the knower, Atmavit, the knower of the I, crosses sorrow. I have heard this. And he says, I would like this knowledge from you. Sanat Kumara is very happy. Oh, Narada, you have come. But you are so erudite. You are so knowledgeable. You are so amazing. You go everywhere unfettered. Tell me what you know so that I can start teaching you. Whether I should go from Vedanta 101 Vedanta 2 open, where which level? Graduate, postgraduate, where? High school level? Where to start I should know. Tell me what you already know. And his list of accomplishments is just a whole paragraph without a big paragraph. This bigger paragraph in the Upanishad page without even a full stop. In one breath he says. What does he say? Rigveda, Adhyemi, Yajurveda, Madhyemi, Samaveda. Rigveda, you know, yes. Yajurveda, you know, oh, you are a Dvivedi, yes. Samaveda, you know, yes, Trivedi. Oh, all the four Vedas, you know, you are a Chaturvedi, yes, but I know Shiksha. Shiksha means pronunciation. Kalpa, how to do rituals. Vyakarana, what is Vyakarana? Grammar. Sanskritam grammar he knows. He did say Vyakarana, Kyakarana, and he did not stop studying. No, he studied. He knows Vyakarana. Then Niruktam, this, he knows this, what is that? Thesaurus. He knows similar words, synonyms, and antonyms. All this he knows. Chandas, prosody, meters, different meters. Anushtup, Trishtup, Gayatri, all the meters he knows in the Vedas. All the Vedic meters he knows. And then he knows Jyotisha. Jyotisha means astronomy / astrology. He knows that. Plus he knows Nakshatra Vidya, the stars, how to foretell, seeing the stars. Shastra Vidya, how to the warfare. Astra Vidya. Astra is that which you throw. Shastra is that which things come out of it. You throw things, use it to throw things out of it. So a stone is, if you just throw a stone at something, then it is astra. But if you use a catapult to throw the stone, the catapult becomes shastra. You see the difference? Yeah. So then we have all this very, very beautiful, no, bodies of knowledge. He knows all of them. He knows this, he knows this, he knows this, he knows this, he knows this. And then he knows Dhanur Vidya, archery, he knows. Ayurveda, he knows. Yoga, he knows. Everything he knows. Sanat Kumara laughs. Sanat Kumara says, "Oh Narada, you are truly proficient in a lot of nothing. You know a lot, but you don't know that because of which these bodies of knowledges are. You don't know that. You don't know that one thing because of which everything ticks, because of which everything is. What's the difference between a lot of nothing and a little bit of nothing? What's the difference? No difference. If you know a little bit of nothing, it is still what? Nothing. If you know a lot of nothing, what is it?
Still nothing.
Still nothing. So everything that one has accomplished tantamounts to nothing, especially if you have not stopped chasing after things, even after knowing so much, even after gaining so much, even after having so much. There is this sense of discontent with which one is completely identified, and because of that, what does one do? One keeps on reproducing the nothing. I want to accumulate more and more people. Why? Because they make me feel good. You forget that, but you want to accumulate people. You want to accumulate degrees. You want to accumulate accomplishments. It's a dead end at the same time, no end situation because the goal of life is not understood. Then you can say, what is the goal of life? The goal of life is to understand that without any props, without any repair work, without any fears, without any sorrows, I'm already what I want to be. I am what do I want to be? Fulfilled, happy, limitless. I want to be forever. I want to be immortal. However you want to express that, I am already that. I'm already that, but I do not know it. You are already what you want to be. And therefore, action does not help here. Action takes you to goals that make you goal in life. That is a goal means round and round. What kind of goals do action take you to? Action takes you to finite goals. What is the example of a finite goal? Getting a degree. It's a finite goal. You want a PhD, 5 years. You want an MA, 2 years. Like this. It's a finite goal. Yoga teachers training. Okay, if you go to Shivananda ashram, 1 month, 2 months, like this. So it's a finite goal because you put a finite number of effort, and when you put in finite effort, the result of the finite effort can never ever be infinite. You put finite effort, you will get finite results. Okay, I'll put infinite effort. Can you put infinite effort? No. Why? Resources are finite, body is finite, mind is finite, definitely finite. Can't even remember, can barely remember what one had for breakfast. Mind is finite, body is finite, senses are finite. The effort you put in is also what? Finite. And out of the finite, you cannot expect to reap the infinite results. It's like squeezing a stone, a small pebble you find outside the Ganga stone, pebbles by the banks of the Ganga, and you squeeze it. And why? To get some olive oil. Can you squeeze a stone and get extra virgin olive oil? You may break all the bones in the hand, and then nothing is there. Why? Because it's contrary to logic. You cannot squeeze a stone and get olive oil. You can squeeze an olive and get olive oil, but not a stone. Not even an olive pit, which is called a stone. Even that doesn't yield olive oil. What to talk of a stone? But still, we see groups and groups of people. What? Everybody is standing there squeezing a stone to get oil. The stone looks different. The stone looks in the form of this kriya, that kriya, go here, go there, go do that, do this. Nothing wrong. Those are all preparations for this. They are all preparations to calm down the mind. Every bhajan, every kriya, everything is a sadhana for the mind to calm down, to understand finally this knowledge which says, I am what I seek to be. The seeker and the sought are one and the same. That is what it is. Seeker and the sought cannot be different from one another. It is one and the same. And since the seeker and the sought are one and the same, I have to understand this. It is not a matter for doing, it is a matter for being. This is exactly what it is. And to put it a little more technically, we would say that true objectivity is that which reveals the object and the subject to be the one and the same. That is yoga of objectivity. That which reveals the object which I consider myself to be different from. Who am I? Subject. And who is this subject? The one that is subject to sorrow. This is the subject. And what is the object? The object is everything I am attracted to, everything I am repulsed by. That is the object. I either run behind it or I run away from it. The objects can be categorized into two based on my own pursuits. Either I pursue or I am running away from it. Pravritti, going towards; nivritti, going away from. That is what I consider object. Object is always something that is far away from me. Totally far away from me. The object has to be gained in order to be happy. These are my perceptions. And as long as the object is away, I am upset, I am angry, I am unfulfilled, I am subject to discontent. This subject being separate from the object is the cause for sorrow, as Narada is taught by Sanat Kumar. Narada is told, you don't know that one thing because of which everything is. Oh, what is that one thing? I want to know one thing. Where can I find that one thing? It is you. It is you. You who? It is you. What is this you? Bhuman, Bhuma. Like Atman. Why does Sanat Kumara, the teacher, says Bhuma rather than Atma? Because we are jaded by hearing the word Atma, 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 Atma all the time. Sometimes the teacher uses different methodologies and different words to convey the same thing. Bhuma. So the student was going to sleep. Atma, Atma. I know. A for Atma, B for Brahman, C for Chit, D for Dharma. I know all this. Now I can just check out, snooze off, and then wake up and there is something to know. No. Bhuma, huh? What? Bhoo-hoo? Bhuma, that stops your boo-hoo. Okay, yeah. Or your tears. Bhuma. That is why the 7th chapter of the Chandogya Upanishad is called Bhuma Vidya. And he says, what is this Bhuma? What is this Bhuma? And he gives a beautiful definition of Bhuma, the teacher. Yadalpam tanmartyam. That which is alpa. Alpa means what? Small. That which is small is that which is small is martyam. Martyam means subject to death, subject to mortality. Yadalpam tanmartyam. That which is small is mortal, subject to destruction. Tatana bhuma, that is not bhuma. Interesting. Bhuma is talked about as what? As first as that which is not. Immediately he doesn't say what is bhuma. First what is explained? What is not bhuma. That is important. Why? Because there is a mistake made on the I. And the mistake removal. I am not sad, I am not subject to anger. That is 9/10 of the job. 9/10 of Atma Vidya, 9/10 of the yoga of objectivity is the removal of the mistake that I am subject to smallness and sorrow. These errors are removed and the Bhuma, which is myself, shines. So first he gives the definition of what is not Bhuma. That which suffers from smallness, not Bhuma. Body, is it small? Yes, don't say I am 300 kilos. I am not small. There will be a sumo wrestler that is bigger than that. So, body is finite. Small means finite. Yad alpam. Alpam means subject to mortality. Is the body mortal or not? Yes. Not bhuma. Mind? Not bhuma. Senses? Not bhuma. All my possessions? Not bhuma. All my loved ones? Not bhuma. Not bhuma, not bhuma. Yadalpam tanmartyam tanna bhuma. And then what is bhuma? Yatra. Yatra means yasmin bhumni. In which understanding, in which I, which is understood properly, the anyat pashyati, does not hear anything other than other. We'll see what that is. Na anyat chrinoti, which does not see anything other, does not hear anything other. Na anyat vijanati, that which does not know anything other. as other is Bhuma. This Bhuma is you. Please know this Bhuma as yourself. What is this not seeing something as other? When there is a perception, let us bring out the orange again, okay? Yeah. So, when there is this perception, this is an object, I am the subject, correct? The perception cannot be negated. Perception is there as what? As a separate perception. This is different. And then all the other pair of glasses in the room are different from this glass. Separation perception is there. But this perception does not come immediately to an immediate conclusion. Therefore, I am alienated from everybody else. Why? Because I am different. I am separate. I cannot understand all these people. Nobody loves me. And then coming to our favorite place. Why me, oh Lord? Why me? You see how the trajectory goes? I see people as different from me. The perception is not wrong. Yes, there is a perception. But therefore, I come to the conclusion that everybody is different. I am different. And see, 4 people are talking amongst themselves. And what is the conclusion I draw? They must be talking about me. Why me? That's why the analysis of Veda, it's all about me. It's called me mamsa. Okay? Me. It's all about me. So Bhuma is where you don't see anything as other than yourself. How is that even possible that I don't see anything as other than myself? Very interesting. Just like in sleep, just like when you smile at that small child, the child was not other than you. In a way, you were smiling at yourself. When you see a wonderful meadow of flowers, you are one with it. And when you see something that makes you happy, I was trying to reason this out. I was trying to give this example to a teenage boy. And anything I suggested, he said, nah, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that. I said, what are you interested in? So that I could hold the example. He said, I love food. I said, okay, no problem. So see an entire table laden with, he said, I love food, I love sweets. I said, okay, entire table laden with gulab jamuns, laden with all kinds of wonderful things. Chocolate cake, ice cream, gulab jamun, croissants, and so many other things. And then he said, yeah, wonderful, that I could communicate finally. So when you see this, when you see that, when you see something which is an object of love, and then you start ingesting that, when the subject and object become one, in that moment, there is no separate gulab jamun. Gulab jamun has assimilated into me. I am one with the gulab jamun. I am one with the chocolate cake. I am one with the ice cream. And of course, weight-wise also the oneness shows after a little while. So this way, so whatever I see as different, that is a perception, but the perception need not and should not get to the place of an erroneous conclusion. Therefore, I'm separate from everything. Yatra na anyat pashyati sabhuma. Then yatra na anyat shrinoti. Anyat shrinoti means I hear sounds. There is a sound, there is some birds and some sadhus singing, birds chirping, Ganga flowing. It is all what? Other than me. But then you say, okay, I'm going to sit and meditate at the banks of the Ganga. You sit in meditation on a rock, and then soon the flow, the noise of the flow becomes you. Pun intended. It becomes you. There is no separation. That is Bhuma, where there is no separation, there is Bhuma. Is this possible? Is this really a reality? We'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. If there are any questions, I can take one or two questions.
Most of the superstitions.
Most of the
Superstitions which we are taking here.
Yeah.
This one is.
Most of the superstitions, such as what?
Like, say, Sati Sahagama. Earlier.
Huh?
Some centuries back.
I didn't follow.
Sati Sahagama. See, when husband died.
Yeah. That was all from.
That was the perception.
Yeah, that's a wrong perception. Collective wrong misperception. Yes. Very good example. Yeah. That if the husband is dead, then the wife has no right to live. Very cruel misperception, leading to some very bad prathas. Yes. Other questions? Anything online? Yeah. Okay.
We see our perceptions are based on our vasanas and experiences.
Yes.
Misconceptions also are based on the same.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
how do you say that a misconception is a misconception? It's still a perception.
It's a perception, but it's a misperception because it leads, I come to the wrong conclusion. Many perceptions are there. Perception is not harmful. Coming to a conclusion, an erroneous conclusion because of the perception is harmful. Four people are talking, it's a perception. That they are talking about me is an erroneous conclusion because of which there is sorrow and alienation. Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I'm going still to the previous step where the perception itself is because of a past vasana, etc. So it's not a misconception for me. It's not a wrong perception for me because it is based on the past experience.
Yeah, but it's still a wrong perception because it's leading to sorrow.
Okay.
Vasana means raga dvesha. I'll come to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in this,
Yes.
sorry, in this situation where you're talking about Bhuma,
Yeah.
there is still a perception, but there is no conclusion. Of the perception.
That's what you see. There'll be many perceptions. You see, otherwise, if we will start, nobody will. They'll come to get us, and they will just say, "What is wrong with these people's thinking? They all should be locked up. All the Vedantins will be locked up." Perception we don't deny. We don't say everybody is one. That is not correct. Every body has a mind, has a senses, but that is the perception. We validate the perception while questioning the conclusion. The conclusion, every body has a body, mind, sense complex. There are many, many bodies. Therefore, everybody is separate from one another. That conclusion has to be questioned. That's why I said true objectivity is when the object and the subject are understood to be one. And we'll see about that more tomorrow. And then we'll, towards maybe the last class, we'll see how we'll end with practical tips on how, because everybody wants practical tips, how to convert this into day-to-day life. We'll see that on the 27th. What is today? Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll see that day after tomorrow. Tomorrow I still have to cover a little bit of ground. Yeah. All right. Oh, that's it.
Namaste, Swamiji. Thank you.
Take care. All the best.